company versus company. This is not a sponsored video. This is all based on my first impressions. I paid for everything out of my own money. Never have I partnered with any of these organizations before. Take 2 weeks. Hey team, welcome to today's video and welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Hayden. Now, if you were watching my last week's video, which was my TEMU Knitwear review, you would have noticed that I had mentioned we're going to do a face-off. If you've been with me a while, you know that I have reviewed quite a few fast fashion menswear over my time, but never have I ever pitted them against each other in a specific category, which is what we're doing today. We are going to be looking at men's knitwear from Shien, TEMU, Zaful, and Fashion Nova. Some of these pieces I have already purchased from previous reviews, so they are already here, ready to go. I will be using some older footage of me unveiling them when I first got them. I haven't, however, had anything from men's knitwear from Fashion Nova. So we will be unwrapping that today and give it a live review and see how it all holds up against the other companies' similar products. Before I unwrap anything or we dive into company versus company, this is not a sponsored video. This is all based on my first impressions. I paid for everything out of my own money. Never have I partnered with any of these organizations before. So the thing from Fashion Nova that I purchased was the Miguel cable knit turtleneck sweater in white. This was only $10. It was marked down because it was a clearance item. It was in size medium and all in Australian dollars. I will do the conversion of the 3 top viewerships down the bottom. Everything will also be linked if you want to check it out for yourself. In preparation for this video, I had to order in obviously Fashion Nova, but I picked up one other thing from Shien, even though I got quite a bit of Shien stuff, and I had to get something from TEMU. All 3 orders were done at the same time. TEMU came in first, then Shien. This took 2.5 weeks to be delivered. So it's by far the longest. Without actually opening it, it's got a bit of weight to it. It's very thick. Here we have, comes in the little Ziploc pouch, just like all the other companies. Well, this one doesn't have a Ziploc, it's a fold over. First impressions, it doesn't look too shabby. Like I said, it's got a bit of weight to it. I mean, for 10 bucks, if this is a good sweater, then you can't complain. The fabric itself feels good. It's got that wool kind of texture where it's semi-soft, kind of fluffy. It doesn't have a crunch, which is good. Usually I find with any cheap fabric, no matter what it's supposed to be, it has a crunch. And that generally means it's not gonna feel good on the skin, last long, all of that. Here we have the sweater. It does have a bit of a, I don't know what that is, a funky smell. It's very subtle. It's not overpowering. It's not going to slap you in the face and hold you down. Maybe it's just because it's been in packaging for a while. I mean, it did take 2 weeks. I generally like to have a look at the construction. Not that I am any way, shape or form a tailor or seamstress, anything like that. But I have reviewed a lot of clothes and you can usually tell straight out the gate if something has been badly made, from jagged edges, bunching of the seams, threads coming out, all of the above. This, however, just look at this seam. It is pretty beautiful. It's a very even stitch all the way around. There is no snags. There is nothing hanging out. Absolutely nothing. All the way around. I also like to check where seams meet, like a junction. Look at that. Very, very nice. Very clean. So far, so good. We always know the real test is putting it on. It is definitely not the weather for this. It is so warm outside. I should have picked a better time of year to do this. But now that I have it on, it feels really good. It's very soft. Nothing seems to be sticking me, scratching me, irritating. My skin feels good under the fabric. I don't think it's wool. I'll have a look at the tag and just see. But so far, it's good. I could see myself wearing this in winter, out to dinner, maybe going to the movies, anything like that. It's not particularly flattering, but for $10, I'm happy. All right, our first competitor, Fashion Nova, the men's sweater. This, obviously, because it's first, is going in the top tier. It was comfortable, it's $10, it was affordable. Without the decrease in price, it would have been $55, which would have been a weighing into my decision. But first impressions, very nice quality, very well constructed, very lightweight, A+. Several of the other pieces I already own from other reviews, like I've said before. I did pick up one extra thing from Shien, which we will save that to last. I might actually jump into some of the things that I already own. One of which is, I only got one knitwear item from Zaful, and it's this one here. I've worn it once. It's still incredibly soft, very, very well constructed, and it wasn't super expensive. So this cost me Australian dollars, $47.50, and it was in the color white, size medium. I mean, just look at the craftsmanship. Not sure if you can see the embellishing along the seam. Very, very nicely done. Similar to the sweater, can't fault anything with the construction. Even though the sweater was only $10 and it would have been $55 had it not been reduced. And I am happy with the way it turned out. I like the way it's constructed. It's all of the above. This feels so soft, a lot more soft than the sweater does. I will actually check what the sweater is constructed of. However, this from Zaful is 50% viscose, or viscose, tell me if I'm saying that wrong, 28% polyester and 22% polyamide. Whereas the sweater is 100% acrylic. You can definitely tell the difference. Very soft, softish. Zaful is number 1, Fashion Nova is number 2. If you saw my last week's video, you would have seen that I reviewed TEMU's Knitwear, and these are the two pieces that I got, the cardigan and the sweater. I was highly impressed with the sweater, very affordable. So this was $27.77 Australian, and then the cardigan was $26.45 Australian, and I will include some clips of each piece. Again, highly impressed with the construction, and obviously the price tag is very attractive. It came in quicker than everything else. This feels a little on the cheap side, whereas this feels quality, the sweater. You would assume anything that is knitted or made from a fabric that can be knitted is going to be very soft. Both of these are softer than the sweater, but still not as soft as the shirt from Zaful. So I think we've got a new ranking. We've got Zaful, we've got TEMU, and then Fashion Nova. Obviously I haven't actually worn this yet, or these two as yet, so we are unaware of how they're going to last. This shirt I have worn before, and majority of the Shien items I've worn many times. Even though it's more expensive, I'm more likely to waive that if it's good quality, well constructed, and lasts the distance. The last company that we are looking at in this face-off challenge is Shien. If you've been with me, you know I've done Shien quite a few times, and I have picked up one additional knitwear piece to have a look at, but I'll just go through the pieces that I do actually own and have worn quite a few times. So the first one is the jumper. This is actually a really favorite jumper of mine. It's so comfortable. I've worn it many, many times, and I've actually worn it in quite a few videos. It's been washed a few times, and to this day, still great construction, still very soft, and has still maintained its shape. The next item from Shien that I own is the white turtleneck that I got. I didn't actually include this in any review to my knowledge. Maybe I did. I've done a few. And similar to Zaful, so soft, super, super soft, which is interesting because it's not made of the same materials. This is 100% polyester. The third item in the knitwear category from Shien is actually a favorite shirt of mine, and it was this one here. I've worn this quite a few times. I've worn it out to dinner, to the movies, I've gone to house parties, around the house, and it's my go-to shirt because it's so flattering when it's on you. It was not super expensive. It cost $25.95 Australian dollars. The jumper was $27.95 Australian dollars, and the turtleneck was $22.95 Australian dollars. The one thing I have noticed with this, however, is it is starting to pill and ball up along the neckline at the back. Now I'm wondering if you can see, all along here it's starting to pill, but it's still in good condition. All of the seams are still well constructed. There's nothing that's fraying or pulling apart other than the balling or the pilling, which you can easily just pick off. I give it an A+. That brings us to the last item from Shien that I will open up right now, which was the men's solid ribbed knit top. It's in the size medium, it's in the color white, and it cost me $28.95 Australian dollars. As usual, comes in its standard Ziploc bag shipping. Doesn't have the crunch. Feels quite light, airy, like it's got a bit of give to it. Doesn't have a funky smell, which I'm happy about. Let's have a look at the construction. Similar to the Fashion Nova knitwear. Look at that. Look how clean that is. Absolutely no fraying, no bunching, no knotting. I don't see any threads. Oh, there's one here, actually. Let us try it on. Now that I have it on, it's quite flattering. I think I could have gone a size smaller, even though this is a medium. It's an odd shaped medium. So here we have it. It is a little bit on the big side, and it makes me look like I have like a giant stomach. But it does feel comfortable. It's got an odd shape to it. I don't quite enjoy how pouchy it is around here. I wonder if they sent me the wrong size, because I definitely ordered a medium. I feel like this is not a medium. But based on the quality of it and the way it feels, there's no irritation. I don't feel anything sticking, poking, jabbing. Nothing's pulling. It has a lot of movement, and I feel like it breathes quite nice. I think it's going to be difficult to find an overall winner because there are so many different variants that come into play to determine who is better. If we're talking purely about the quality of fabric, the feel on the skin, Zaful shirt would be number one. If we're talking about affordability, the Fashion Nova sweater, which was still decent quality and I will probably wear it, was only $10. Even though it was marked down for $55, I'm only going off what I paid for. If we're talking about variety in what's on offer on their website or on the app to purchase from them, both TEMU and Shien would be side by side because they have very similar products and a very similar variety and range. Taking all things into consideration, in my humble opinion, the new ranking order, Shien, is coming in first place, followed by Zaful. Zaful is more on the higher end of the price scale, but I feel like their quality is just better. Shien's quality is on par, even though they have a sketchy situation with stealing from smaller designers. We would then come in third with TEMU and Fashion Nova last. And that's just because Fashion Nova didn't have a lot of variety in the knitwear. So there we have it, team. I will link everything down below for you to check out for yourself. What do you think of my ranking? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know. Thanks for watching. Make sure you do all the fun stuff. Most importantly, stay tuned.